today, I wanna find a way to make it without you. Today, I wanna find a way to make it without you. I wanna hold on to the times that we had today. I wanna find a way to make it without you. What it do with it, y'all? Your girl Black Pop, aka Soda Baby, aka Asuka, and you're now tuned in to Talk City. And we're back with another video, and as you can see, I'm in the holiday spirit. And yeah, you know, this year I give you the permission to choose if you want to be in holiday spirit or holiday depression. I understand some people may not have family or friends or events to go to, but being alone with yourself, and just because people are in holiday cheer doesn't mean that you have to be sad. You can choose to ignore it. You can choose to enjoy it for yourself. Like for me, something that's helped me with, just enjoying my space and myself is, taking myself to the dollar store, spend like $12, decorate my room. Another thing I've been doing for self-love is buying flowers, because it's something about flowers that just makes you feel welcomed, and it makes you feel like it makes you expect good things on the way. So, those are some tips that I've been doing. And, it's a choice. You can choose how you want to feel. And just like our topic, we're going to be talking about what triggers you, controls you. Make the devil your friend. And I know it's like, making the devil your friend, but the devil is you. Because a lot of people love to say that the devil is busy, and just because they don't want to take responsibility for controlling their emotions, so they'd rather put it in someone else's hand. No, the devil's not busy. You're just too lazy to control your emotions. And it's really a challenge to make the choice if you're gonna let somebody get the reaction they're looking from you or control your emotions, because a lot of the times ignoring someone is just as powerful, because people just want you to give a a lot of people don't feel like they're important, and a lot of people don't know how to get a healthy emotional exchange without it being an argument or a debate. And that's just what the internet has turned into. It was a time when the internet was a fun spiritual place to be. Now every day it just feels like a battlefield, and a lot of people don't know how to get positive reinforcement without making you feel sorry for them. And even when you try to lift them up, they only be like, no, it's going to be terrible time. And it's like, wow, damn, you know what? I'm never doing this ever again. And, some people will listen to you, but most people will just make it even worse and make you feel like, why did I even try? And really, good intellectual stimulation is what people want. And that's why it's so much of men versus women, the debate, the battle, because that battle, debate energy is the same energy that you use for sex. It's the same energy. It's the same reason why a woman will pick a fight with a man so that she can get good later, because he done ran out of them honey packs. And, for me, it's about finding a positive way to do that, by focusing on solutions, focusing on the future and what you're passionate about, because I feel like we know enough. And even with social media, all the information that you take in, it's like, all right, even I've come to a place where it's like, okay, I'm done with, taking in so much information. Let me process it. And really, social media has become the news. As a child, I never liked watching the news because it was so depressing. All they did was talk about your triggers. All they did was exploit your triggers and your weaknesses. you know, the great racism debate, the great debate of politics, you know, those commercials where you can feed a child for 10 cents a day, but as you scroll down your timeline, you see another group of African children going viral for dancing, traveling the world. And it's just like, you know, you have to control yourself. When people know your weaknesses, they can get you to do what they want you to do. They can get you to donate. They can get you to argue. And you have to understand that you have the power to choose. The same way you can choose your algorithm, you can choose your emotions. And this is why it's important to learn how to control your emotions, because when people know what triggers you, they can control you, just like they do on the news, just like they do in court, just like they do in the interrogation rooms. When you know someone's trigger, you can get anybody to do anything just by poking at that trigger, that weakness, that soft spot. Whether you know they have a sex addiction, or, you know, whether it be money, you know, the love of their children, their family, you know, their husband, their wife. And this is why you have to have a healthy detachment to everything, honestly, and learn how to have a poker face. And I know it's annoying for men to tell you to smile more, but you should. Why? Because a smile is more deceiving than anything. Because when you're frowning, they already know how you feel. And you can give a fake smile, you know, because people are always reacting to you and you're just not that aware of it. Or maybe you are, because a girl could mug you, roll her eyes at you, but if you smile at her because she sees you both know that there's a difference between you and her, then that smile confuses her, because it's like, why aren't you mad with her? Oh, baby, I know there's a difference between me and you, and that's just what it is. And this is why they say don't judge people, because when you judge people, your judgments are based off of what triggers you. And this is why it's important to get to know your dark side and make the devil your friend, because the devil is you. The devil is that part of yourself that you can't control, that you're ashamed to admit that's a part of you. And this is why you have to look at things in a neutral way so that you can benefit from both sides of you. And this is why you have to get to know both sides of yourself, so that the next time someone tries to trigger you, you're able to control yourself more. You know, you can't just be one-sided. You have to be able to see things from both perspectives to find that loophole in order to find a way to benefit from both. But, you know, it's always about the benefit of you. That's why you have to think before you react. And it's easy to read people when you know their triggers, just by observing them and taking mental notes, by their vocal tone, their body language, by the way they walk, the way they talk, how fast they walk, how fast they talk, the color that they wear. You know, all is mentalism. And sometimes you have to fake agree with people that you really don't like and you really don't agree with, just so that when you come back to yourself, your whole self, you learn their triggers. And sometimes you have to disagree with people that you actually agree with to learn their triggers, like a double agent. Because at the end of the day, everything is a paradox. So do as thy will. You know, Black Lives Matter, but we can all clearly see that that organization picks and chooses who they want to get justice for. No matter how greedy or evil you may think they are, Just because you may perceive something to be evil doesn't mean that it's not high vibrational. You know, high vibrational is consistent energy that's gonna do whatever it takes to make it happen. You know, it's consistent energy that won't let up for anything by any means necessary. That's what high vibrational is. It's a high consistency. And if it wasn't true, Trump wouldn't have won presidency. And Kanye wouldn't have got exactly what he wanted out of us with that statement that he made. This is exactly the reaction that he wanted. And it just goes to show you that there is no such thing as good or bad. All is energy and how you perceive it. You can send Kanye hate mail and tell him to end himself, but he'll probably perceive that as more fuel and more energy to keep speaking and keep doing what he does. He'll probably perceive it as, you know, like, haha, still got mind control on these, you know, still got him in a chokehold, and really make him feel 10 feet taller because he's playing on your triggers. And you can be mad at what he said for saying white lives matter, because they do. Because the way mankind is structured, the same format that white people came up with is still used till this day. You know, someone was going to be the oppressor, and someone was going to have to do the dirty work of the oppressor, and someone was going to have to do the dirty work of the slave, because the oppressor is still thinking about the future, you know, and that's why there's such a big difference between black people and white people, because, and you can see it even still in today's day, you can see, yes, black people are so creative because we let the moment take us, and we in the moment, you know, we let the moment take us. White people are more analytical, and they're seeing the future. Even in the things that we invest in till this day is still the same thing. Black people, money, cars, shoes, clothes. White people, Instagram, internet money, Facebook, Tesla, metaverse. You know, either way, it's just the fact that white people beat us to the punch. That's it. You know, that's it. Because if it was such a bad format, black people shouldn't be using the same format by having bosses, managers, team leads, you know, team members. It's the same thing. It's just that it was just more abusive back in the day. And even to this day, we're all unlearning certain abuses that we thought were normal that really wasn't. You know, it still stands. You know, someone had to think and strategize and calculate and analyze how to always have the upper hand by thinking of the future. And it wasn't black people, and it still ain't black people. you know, if we were thinking of the future, roles would have been reversed. Clearly, we just weren't. Obviously, you can't disagree with it because we still do the same stuff. The hood is still the hood. Ain't nothing changed, you know. It was a matter of who was going to do it first. It was a matter of who was going to think of the future first. And they checkmated us. Checkmate. And that's just what it was. Because if we did the same thing first, it would have been a different world. You know, roles would have been reversed. You know, white supremacy does stand. They put themselves first. Because of all the things we've overcome, we've been able to develop the black victim card, where it's like, oh, it's because I'm black, huh? Everybody, she's racist. Black lives matter. You know, and everybody was like, yeah. because of the system of oppression, the system of you need to do this or this is going to happen to you. You're going to lose your job, or you're going to, back in the day it was whippings, but now it's you're going to lose your job and you can't eat. So you going to do what you're going to have to do. It was going to be them or us. We lost. They got him. Like that's just what it was. And sometimes you got to ask yourself what part you played in certain things, or else you're just always going to feel like, always going to be upset. It's just like having a man who said he's sorry, made up for it, and you still bringing up stuff. You still bringing it up. And, after a while, it gets annoying, and no one's going to care when you always saying, black people don't stick together. Maybe we're just not that good. We're not good at it. So let it go. We're just more vocal. We're just emotional. Everybody has to know about it. They probably going through the same things too. They just think before they do things a little more than we do. Obviously. You can't, and just like it was a choice to get out of slavery, you know what they say, how you get in is how you get out. How you get them is how you keep them. And those who are like-minded know exactly what I'm trying to say. Because it's a new world, Hillary Clinton. It's a new world. You can be mad all you want or learn from them and get the same success or more. To beat the enemy is to become the enemy. And you can say they lied, cheated, and stole, but clearly liars get further ahead. Stealers take what they want either way. Cheaters learn the art of fooling people. Liars are people who know how to paint you an illusion of what they want, of what you want, to get whatever energy or whatever they're trying to get from you. And it's your choice to believe them. You lie on your resume to get a better position. Liars know how to borrow time in promises of what you want for exchange of your energy, only in the end for you to realize it was the total opposite and it was your choice to believe them. Whether they lied, cheated, or stole, it was by any means necessary. The same way you need to be for your goals. Yes, racism still exists, but you can choose to let it run your life or focus on yourself as an individual, because you get more on a universal level when it's relatable to everyone than just focusing on one thing. And you get further in life focusing on yourself rather than focusing on a group, because it's solely based on your individuality and it's pure, and you find your real tribe no matter what color they are, and it's less stress because you don't have to worry about this person or that person or that. It's just you. Because Harriet Tubman had to find freedom before she could free any other slaves, because when she told them about being free in the beginning, everyone was too scared to go. So she had to go on her own. And that's why it's better to solely focus on yourself than focusing on a community, because most of the time your community is not gonna support you. Secretly they don't plan on doing anything anyway. They just want to feel like they're a part of something headed in a positive direction, because they're not. And focusing on yourself means less distractions, and this is why I'm glad Kanye said what he said, because the White Lives Matter statement brought this out of me. it really evoked a lot of emotion out of me. And in the beginning, you know, some people, but it still brought me back to thinking like, that's interesting. You know, it evoked a lot of questions, and to most people it just evoked emotion, but to some people they were able to, it opened a part of your mind that it just didn't open before. And the statement is true. You know, white lives do matter, but that it doesn't have to take away from everything Black lives mattering as well, you know. And to me, it just opened up the reasoning for all of this, for real, you know. Black people should have been quicker in the past. Well, okay, not like with the, like, you know, just thinking about the future. And yeah, I don't have to lie. This is really what it brought out of me. And I know I'm probably going to get a dislike. Who cares? But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at It's Black Pop. So talk to me on my backup page. We'll get to the next video.